Esports World Cup. We just had the LCQ happen in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for the Esports World Cup 2025. And the LCQ was omega stacked, and people had to really commit to going to this event because you're going all the way to Saudi Arabia. And if you plan to actually qualify and make it into the Esports World Cup, you got to be there for a whole other week. So we just wrapped up the Esports World Cup LCQ, and players are of course showing up because they want big money, right? The Saudi funny money drip, it just keeps on coming in for who knows how much longer. So everyone's trying to snatch up the funny money going around. 50K in prizing apparently for the LCQ. I'm not sure how it's actually divvied up. They didn't actually break down, from what I've seen, how this is divvied up between the top placers. Besides just the 50K for the actual LCQ, you want to get into the actual Esports World Cup, which has a $1 million prize pool and a Capcom Cup qualification spot as well. 250K for first place here, and very generous pricing all the way throughout. Even if you go 0-2 or don't make it out of groups and tie there, you get 2,500 at minimum for your efforts, and then the pricing definitely rapidly escalates from there. So there's a lot of money to win here. So this attracted, of course, a lot of talent from all over the world. So an incredibly stacked bracket. Everybody from Europe, everybody from, well, actually not as many from North America, to be quite honest, but decent amount of representatives. Japan came out in full force, of course, and Asia Pacific as well. But as we get into it, you can see here that Esports World Cup was highlighting some of the notable players like Tachikawa, Kills You, Lex, and so on and so forth. But some of the esports org took note of who was missing from this, because you can see here, Wolves Esports here says, hey, Esports World Cup, you missed one. My man Hurricane highlighted here. Hurricane, you know, he talks about how he loves being slept on and already made top 64 winner's side by the time he called out how he was not highlighted in the notable players. One notable player from North America was Riddles, who after playing round one already beat Take Piano, who is top 5 in CFN. You know, one of the unknown or rather less visible killers from the online Japanese community in this tournament, and pops off with his burrito picture here. Has to go up to take out Daigo next in pools. And Riddles, you know, he's focusing full time on Street Fighter 6. Just won the Stage Jam Slam. Terry's buffed, trying to take it to the GOAT Daigo here. But Daigo's already up a game and a round. Riddle's trying to make the comeback. Has level 3. Didn't go into level 3. He could have killed. And he probably could have converted to a level 2 route as well. But instead, he saved the bar. Gets cooked. And Akuma zoning. Yeah, Sagat wishes he could. Sagat wishes he could. 2-0 to the GOAT Daigo. Young Riddles will not take it over Daigo today. And Daigo had a little bit of a run for himself going. Another highlight from pools here. Lord Zaffarino is also out here at the Esports World Cup, actually trying to take out his Sagat, which is so, like, imagine flying all the way to Saudi Arabia to play your week, like your 1 week Sagat for $50,000 to potentially $250,000. Mad props to Zaf, but I could never. Yas here with his Ryu gets the DI punish on the Tiger Knee, and look at the conversion here. The air-to-air jump medium to bring down to the drive rush back heavy kick, full combo conversion. So not only was Zaffarino bringing the Sagat out, and he actually put up a good fight. People are already ready with the actual counterplay, the airborne DI pickup. Like, this is actually nuts. Jump medium in there. So that was super sick conversion. Yas takes that one over Zaffarino. But as we go through the actual round one of pools, you can see here that there were a lot of upsets. Like, this doesn't even break down exactly how stacked these pools are. You have Capcom Cup qualifiers and premier champions fighting each other in pools. Sahara from Good 8 Squad, who's been on a tear recently and plays now in Good 8 Squad for Street Fighter League, went 0-2 in pools, right? You have players like Kills You losing to Solomon and Nianpi, and going out, and Kills You has been Esports World Cup qualified, Capcom Cup qualified, one of the top players from EU. Emperor lost. He was the Kings of the World champion there, lost in pools as well. Tachikawa dropped down the losers early, so did Hot Dog. Zaffarino beat Akira. What is that? Second place EVO Japan, third place EVO Japan. So Zaffarino did get a big win under his belt as well. But yeah, just, you know, bodies dropping left and right. in day one. But as we get into the top 64, you can see the killers here. Just super stacked bracket and a decent amount of Middle Eastern representation as well. Wasim in there, Abood, Lord G, Turkey, ABC. So good to see some of the more local regional talent show up and do a lot of work. But as we get into top 64, Jabi M going up against Daigo. And there's something about Jabi M out of South Africa when it's time to face the Japanese FGC legends, where he just becomes Shin Jabi M. He's become Tokido's official demon, beating him at Red Bull Kumite 2023 in South Africa, and then also beating him at Capcom Cup. And here he is cooking. I mean, he absolutely cooked Daigo. This was a fast 2-0, and that was a really strong awareness on the punish, by the way. To block a Kuma sweep in burnout and to be ready to do stand medium punch tackle level 3, that was like really really good awareness from him. I was very impressed by that punish in the clutch as well. And he cooked Daigo 2-0. It was super fast. So shouts to Jabi M. Carrying South Africa on his back now for quite some time, taking out Daigo there. But here we have another highlight from the LCQ Day 2. Kings Vega, who's been doing a lot of work recently in offline major tournaments up against Mr. Crimson. Mr. Crimson, 1 round away. Kings Vega about to be eliminated from this set in this match here. He goes for the instant overhead. That is meant to kill, but he has a pixel of life remaining, so it doesn't kill. Level 2 activation. Whiff punishes the limb, full conversion. That was nuts. So let's break that down one more time, by the way. So if you see here, he sets this up. This is meant to be a punish on a button or a throw attack, and I believe it might actually be a real instant overhead, which is actually rare in this game. Usually these kind of jump air to air or jump options are meant to only hit standing opponents who whiff a throw attack, because when you whiff a throw, you are standing, your hurtbox is standing, right? So you would do that, get in their grill, make them tech throw, and you would jump up and punish and kill them. But this is an actual instant overhead from Dhalsim. It needs to kill, because if it doesn't kill, you're extremely punishable on hit. So he gets the punish on hit, capitalizes on it, almost. He could have possibly got a highlight reel right here. Then he does raw level 2 activation, sees the limb whiffing, heavy punch, dry rush cancel into a combo conversion. So super clutch play there from Kings Vega. That was really sick highlight from that. And here we have Kintio. I kind of butcher his name. I'm not sure the proper pronunciation, but Kintio, from my understanding, is the #1 online in Japan Terry. So people look at him as like the Terry representative in Japan. Before Terry got buffed, even he was the guy putting in work with this character, and now Terry is very much a like super powerful character and represented by a lot of top level players. Not as much in Japan, but from a lot of different regions. There's tons of Terrys now. So he's the guy who was like putting Terry on the map for a while in the online scene. He's here up against DCQ. Gets this combo conversion and represents the OS. So that's some high level tech here, and a lot more players are starting to show this consistently. So if you see here, what he's doing is he's doing a meaty with his non super or special cancelable crouching light kick, and he's inputting in between this. He's doing crouching light kick, he's inputting super, and then inputting his jab as well. So what happens is if they block, the crouching light kick is not super or special cancelable, so the super will not come out. All you will see on block, or if they get hit, would be crouching light kick into jab. That's all you would see. But because he does drive reversal, the crouching light kick whiffs entirely, which allows that hidden super input to activate. And when the crouching light kick whiffs, the super will occur there. And so that's an OS that a lot of people are using when they're applying pressure and burnout. You need a normal that is not super cancelable or special cancelable and can chain into another light. A lot of people are using this now. So if you're applying pressure against people when you are in burnout, wake up drive reversal is a very common option. This shuts down that option. So a lot of players are using that now, and Kintio showing that off there in the clutch. But as we whittle it down, you can see how many top level players are falling. Tigers over here, Ryusei Yas, Dogura, Otani, Cian dropping to losers, Goichi taking over Hibiki, Lex, who was in Esports World Cup before, falling down, being eliminated. You can see Jack here making a bit of a run. Lower Jack there, and losers get to take out Taco, Yas, Namen, and Yanai to get into the top 16. So big shout outs to Jack there. Matsu56 with Kimberly also doing a huge run. Fujimura, Tiger, John Takichi, and Otani in a row. On the other side of top 64, Hurricane getting through. against Kaba and Chris T. Daigo actually lost here to Turkey ABC, so Turkey ABC doing work for his region right there. Riddles as well going on a tear. As you can see here, he dropped down to losers and took out Jawa, Oil King, Chris Wong, and Takamura. That is an insane run right there from Riddles. And you get to see just like tons of top level players eliminating each other left and right. But as you get down into it, this is the final top 16. And this is interesting because for Esports World Cup qualification, which was the main goal, there is a lot of prize money on the line here. But the main goal of this is just to qualify into Esports World Cup. So for tournaments like Evo, CEO, and Combo Breaker, they tended to give away 2 spots into Esports World Cup, the top 2. For the LCQ, they were giving away 10 spots. They were really trying to incentivize people to come to Saudi Arabia and participate in this specific event if you wanted to get into the Esports World Cup. So if you get into the top 8, you're automatically in. So the top 8, like, you almost don't even care. You're in Esports World Cup. You got the job done. However, if you get 9th, remember, 4 people tie for 9th place. Only 2 of them can make it in because you already have 8 in top 8. So how do you do that? They're actually going to do a runoff bracket with the final 9th place people, and they have to do another 4-man bracket to determine the top 2 who get into the Esports World Cup. So it's a really, I don't know why they didn't just choose 8, but they made it for some reason 10. Kind of like pulling a random even number, it seems like. And so you really want to get in through winners, but if you're in winners side of top 16, you have 3 chances to qualify into the Esports World Cup. You win your 1 match of winners and you're done. If you go to losers, you win your match in losers and you're done. And if you lose that, you have to win then the 4-man 9th place tournament. And so you have 3 chances to get in. So if you're in winner side top 16, you really don't want to blow this chance, because you're going to get triple eliminated from the Esports World Cup, essentially. Riddles on a tear, the run of a lifetime. Recently dropped from Team Liquid, by the way, going up against Kobeon. Kobeon up around in the first game here. A pixel here from Riddles. He has level 3, so does Kobeon. Any touch will do it. Riddles trying to find the opening. Spends a lot of bar on that one. Burns himself out practically. And the level 3 reaction. This was so fucking clutch. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. So just to be clear, no matter what, the Riddles has too little life to DI in return. He's long past the point of being able to use DI as an option defensively or even offensively for the most part. The awareness to do stand like a drive rush cancel. See that? Look at the reaction time. And to get the level 3. And I'm fairly certain that James Chen is going to kill as a layup for the hype of the moment. Because yeah, that is raw gray damage absorbed CA. That is going to do way more damage than this in this instance for sure. So insane reaction from Riddles. He actually ends up running that all the way back and winning this set 2-0 over Kobeon. So Kobeon, he was the guy who won Topanga League in 2024, right before Esports World Cup, and he was the player that everyone was scared of qualifying through the LCQ. And last year, he ended up being eliminated by Dual Kevin. And this year, now he's eliminated by Riddles. So North America is actually gatekeeping Kobeon, one of, if not the best geef right now in Japan from Esports World Cup. So Riddles getting the job done there. And as we wrap up those qualifiers, Kinsio gets into the winner side top 8, Goichi, Hurricane, and Hikaru. So they all qualified via the top 8 side into Esports World Cup. Junior takes out DCQ. Matsu56 gets the job done over Jack, unfortunately, who went on an amazing run before getting perfect parried and Kimberly'd hard by Matsu. And then Wasim almost makes it in, ends up losing to Goichi and Tachikawa. And Riddles actually takes out Ryusei and qualifies via the main bracket into Esports World Cup out of Canada. Riddles, straight from the Sage Jam Slam into the Esports World Cup LCQ, gets the job done. And as we look into the final bracket, you can actually see with the tiebreakers here, DCQ manages to stay alive. I was going to feel bad for DCQ because he's always that guy who ends up not making it in the end and getting so close. He's been in one of these 4-way tiebreakers before for the Esports World Cup and failed to qualify in the past. But he gets the job done here now over Kojikak. And Wasim actually takes out Ryusei. So Wasim from Saudi Arabia, a local player. I mean, he's been doing work for a long time. If you've been paying attention to the Street Fighter 16, you know Wasim's name by now. But super strong player. Actually qualifies for Esports World Cup. So big shout out to Wasim. And as you see with the main bracket, most of these players are just playing for the hell of it at this point. Of course, they want to win. But look who takes it in the end. After we have all of our qualifiers here, all of them looking super happy, ready to get all the Saudi money. Hurricane is the one who cleans up the bracket in the end with his Cammy. Hurricane out of Cameroon. You might have known him for his competitive endeavors in the UK. He's originally from Cameroon and moved back there, I believe, about a couple months ago, maybe a year ago. So representing Cameroon and Africa, qualifies and wins the last chance qualifier. So the player that they disrespected by not even putting him on the notable player list comes out and takes one of the most stacked tournaments we've seen in Street Fighter 6 history. So huge shout out to Hurricane. That's a big win for him. I don't think he's had a win this big maybe ever in his Street Fighter 6 career. He's always been rather low-key, salaryman guy. So he's been really strong for so many years and kind of a gatekeeper of sorts of people coming into the European tournaments. And this time he gets the job done. No, he plays Cammy. But look at Riddle's run, by the way. Take Piano 2-1, 2-0 over Jawa, 2-1 over Oil King, 2 over Chris Wong, 2 over Takamura, 2-0 Kobayan, and 2-1 Ryusei. So that is nuts. So good stuff to Riddles for that. That is actually an insane run. Free agent, by the way, popping off. He was on Team Liquid for years, and then right when he gets into Esports World Cup, where they could have made some bank from some club points, you know, the Esports World Cup has club points on the line where there's millions of dollars in prizing if they have enough players in the Esports World Cup securing points by placing well in these events. Literally millions of dollars. Riddles could be the difference maker, could have been the difference maker for Team Liquid between $0 and millions of dollars in prizing, potentially. So free agent, by the way, you know, you were supporting him for so long, maybe you just needed to support him a little bit longer. You know, think about that. When, you know, your ladies, when your dude's on the come up, you know, he's doing dishes in the back, just wait, you know, you never know. All right, just as you held out a few more months. So in the end, we have the qualifiers: Quintio with his Terry, Goichi with his Chun-Li, Hurricane, Cammy, Hikaru with Aki, Junior Zangief, Matsu 56 with what's her name, Kimberly, Tachikawa with Manon, Riddles with Terry, DCQ with JP, and with Seam, I believe, using mostly Akuma, ended up qualifying for Esports World Cup. And here we can see the final list of qualified players to this year's Esports World Cup, competing for that $250,000 first place prize. Last year, it was won by the one and only Xiao Hai. And interestingly enough, this year in the Fatal Fury Esports World Cup, it was won by Goichi, who then went on to win also EVO. Xiao Hai ended up getting second in Esports World Cup for Fatal Fury. Goichi is now also in this Esports World Cup. So we were first looking for Xiao Hai to be one of the only people to win 2 different games for Esports World Cup. Now Goichi has a chance instead to take that title from Xiao Hai as well. Incredibly stacked event. It's going to be one of the most stacked tournaments of the year. And there is life-changing money on the line in this event. So good luck to all the players. And that's the LCQ wrap-up. Peace.